Welcome to Womack's wonderful world. Wow, have I got a gooey story for you today. Sally and Her Super Snot by Salma Zaman. Wow. This is going to be very, very interesting. Shall we begin? Class 6 were enjoying a trip to the local museum with Mr. Fox and Mrs. Buchanan, looking at all the exhibits from different periods in history. Suddenly Sally stopped as she felt her nose start to tickle. Everyone knew what that meant. "Emergency cover!" shouted Mr. Fox. "Look, everybody's running away." With a great gush, out it came, Sally's Super Snot. "Ugh! Yuck!" shouted everyone. Ooh. The Super Snot began to stretch all over the place, causing immense havoc. Boys and girls screamed, not knowing what to do. The security guard shouted, "I got this," and pressed the panic button. He bravely tried to grab the snot, but it stretched away from him. The museum was now in lockdown. No one could get in or out. With snot around, everyone lay face down. "Cracky," cried Mrs. Buchanan, who had dared to raise her head. "The Roman statue worth millions is in tiny pieces." Wow, and it is. What a mess. Vikings tried to throw it into their longships, but it was too clever and got away. Authors and scientists came to have firm words with it, but it baffled them, leaving them totally confused. Second World War evacuees couldn't fit it in their suitcases. Anglo-Saxons tried to shield everyone from the snot droplets, but it continued to fall everywhere. Victorian children tried to play with it, but it rolled away. Medieval kings tried to reason with it, but it slid away. Cavemen tried to hunt down the snot, but it was too slippery to be caught. Friends of Guy Fawkes tried to blow it up, but it just laughed at them. In the special exhibition area, the Egyptian mummies tried to mummify it, and the ancient Greeks from Olympia tried to sprint after it, but it wriggled and darted away. There was no catching this super talented, stretchy snot. It just kept getting away every time. Finally, a prehistoric Tyrannosaurus Rex roared at it, and the roar was so loud the snot flew in the air, hitting the fuse box. Bang! Snot and electricity mixed together in a cloud of sparks. "What? More snot!" cried Mr. Fox just before the lights went out. But this was no ordinary snot. The mixture of electricity and Sally's Super Snot had created very useful snot. "It's awfully dark in here," said Mrs. Buchanan. "I don't like the dark," moaned Mr. Fox. Suddenly, glow-in-the-dark snot lit the room bright like a beaming spile. The previously slimy snot stretched into a mega-strong swing. The children, Mr. Fox and Mrs. Buchanan, all jumped on. They swung higher and higher and higher, and off they jumped into a pool of glittery, soft snot. "Phew! That was a safe landing," said Mrs. Buchanan, feeling relieved that they were all across the room and away from the original snot. She had a plan. She pulled a box out of her bag and started handing out its contents. Armed with tissues, the children started to wipe up all of Sally's Super Snot, not leaving a speck in sight. Well, not quite. Toughened snot helped to glue the Roman statue back together. Styling snot came in useful for Mr. Fox's bad hair days. Mrs. Buchanan used glow-in-the-dark stock to light up the stationery cupboard. Finally, a small amount of Sally's super snot was preserved in a glass display case. It attracted visitors from all around the world, and it even became the most viewed social media sensation of the 21st century. Sally's super snot! Wasn't that the most disgusting story ever? By Salma Zaman. Sally and her super snot. Disgusting! Well, I'm going to have to go down, because I'm going to be reading you another story next week from Womack's Wonderful World. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.